Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of How Slim Would Book, and this time I am booking WWE Raw. So the main reason behind me booking Raw is that I want to be able to watch Raw and enjoy it and not watch it and go, well, this was shit. I will say that at time of recording we've had the season premiere of Raw, which was a decent show, and well, the one after it, which was okay. I've taken a few things that I liked from the season premiere, but yeah, I don't know. It's like, that was a decent show, so the things that I liked about it, I sort of took it and used it as, I guess, inspiration. But let's begin by saying that SmackDown, I feel, is a good show. Like, I don't need to rebook SmackDown. Obviously, there are a few things on Raw that they do on SmackDown that could change. So just sort of think that when I say that something needs to change, if it seems like SmackDown could use that to help help it out, I guess, that, you know, obviously they should probably do that. So the first thing we need to do is look at the roster, which I think we should have similar to the SmackDown 6. We should probably have about 8 or so guys, you know, through 3 hours. 8 or so guys who are reliable. They have good matches. They, you know, great on the mic, all that sort of shit. You know, we should have 8 or so guys that we just sort of build the show around, I guess. So we're going to have Big E, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, Rey Mysterio, Edge, Damian Priest. Obviously Big E's got to be in there. He's WWE Champion, so it doesn't make sense for him not to be. Damian Priest, he's US Champion, but I think he's good enough that you can include him in this. It adds a bit of substance to the US title by going, well, he's one of the best people on the roster. He's the US Champion, that's good. Tag champs, right, obviously Randy and Riddle aren't included in that because Rey's, I feel that Rey is a bit more exciting to watch than Randy. So obviously Rey's in a tag team with Dominic, so I think that, like, we'll get to it later, but I think that would be a better thing to do. So let's see. We'll start with the WWE title stuff, I think. We'll do Rollins and Big E. Obviously that's what they've started to do on Raw, but Big E and Rollins, they've got a lot of history. Big E became the second NXT champion, Rollins was the first. You know, Big E's now WWE champion, Rollins did it first. You know, just that sort of thing. And that they're both good on the mic, they're both good in ring. Give them time. Obviously you can, like, make it a bit longer and not just one match at a pay-per-view, because you could. In the end though, Big E needs to win. Other notable rivalries that we'll have on the shows are Damian Priest and T-Bar. You could probably include Keith Lee and make it a triple threat. That would be cool. Rey and Dominic against the Hurt Business, Lashley versus Owens, and Edge versus Styles. Some of those rivalries could be paid off on Raw, which means that pay-per-views don't need to be as long, because you don't have to get all these on there. Also, it should give people a reason to watch Raw. Right, so we've talked about Riddle and Orton, but I'll sort of expand on it in that Rey and Dominic can be used as sort of gatekeepers for the tag titles, where they're sort of the top contenders, but they're also not the top contenders. Yeah, so you just sort of have teams go up against Ray and Dominic, and if they happen to win, they sort of move past them, and they might fight, one or two other teams and just keep on a winning path, and then, they sort of go up against Riddle and Randy, and whatever happens, happens. Damian Priest as US champion, same thing. Priest can have great matches with like T-Bar, Keith Lee, Shelton, Cedric, all them sort of guys. And when he beats them, they can be gatekeepers for Priest's title. The roster is so large that you should be able to have them as gatekeepers. They can win, but they don't need a shot at the belt. And then when somebody beats them, obviously, oh, look at that, they can go after Priest. Yeah. The main event guys obviously can drop down to the mid-card title, obviously, which lends, so much star power, I guess, to that division. And like you'd have guys like Balor and whatnot win the belt off Priest so he can move up. It works. Yeah, so for this to really work, we just need to make sure that the performances are consistent, which they should be. We don't get the same matches every week. And also, everything can be mixed up, which allows storylines to play out and not give us the same thing. Like we don't need to see the same match 6 weeks in a row. Another thing, we could probably cut it from being 3 hours to 2 hours, but that's not going to happen. Yeah, right, next up, we'll talk about the women's division, which we haven't said a thing on, really. And we start that by saying that Becky's the champion, Bianca's not challenging her because it's been bloody 3 months, that rivalry, and it's not that great. Also, we're not doing Liv and Carmella because that has been so long and it's boring. Like, we could have 4 or so rivalries in the women's division, but like they don't need to face each other. We can do it with different people. We don't need Liv and Carmella being a rivalry that's always on. And again, pay some of these off on TV. It makes it more, must see, I guess. So obviously we can have, I don't know, Zelina and Carmella against Rhea and Nikki because that's your only tag team. If you wanted to do, something different, like Liv and Becky, so then you sort of do, I don't know, Carmella against Doudrop, I don't know, then Rhea and Nikki can just go to SmackDown for a little while. They're the tag champs. Like, it's the only tag team that we've got on Raw, so if that tag team can't challenge the champions, they can go to SmackDown. It doesn't matter. Again, the women's division stuff only works if they're given time, if the performances are consistent, and the storylines are interesting, which that's the other thing I'm really not booking is the storylines. So some more changes to Raw is we need to stop reminding everybody of what happened last week and the week before and the one before that and 3 months ago. We need to stop reminding people of that, because obviously 3 months ago is alright to remind people, hey, this happened 3 months ago, yeah. But, we don't need to know what happened last week. We watched that. Obviously they're doing it for the people who didn't watch it, but hopefully what we're doing is we're making it interesting enough that we do something and people go, oh, what happened last week? Or, they miss this week, and then next week they go, oh, something happened last week, we better go and watch that. But I don't know if that'll happen. But the way it's being booked, it means that it should work. So now also let's just sort of run through, what we're getting, what I'm doing to make this better. We've got proper divisions, proper time given out, new matches and rivalries, which should mean that it's a bit more entertaining to watch. Another thing we could do is just get rid of people who don't want to be there. The people who don't want to be there obviously don't want to be there, so let's just get rid of them, downsize the roster. Get rid of the people that you've got employed to sit in catering or sit at home. Save the company a bit of money, downsize the roster. It should be a better product then. Obviously you can't get rid of everybody who's just sitting in catering or whatever, but get rid of a few. Get rid of the people that you're not going to be using. Obviously it's people losing their jobs, I get that, but get rid of the non-compete clause. Tell them you can go wherever you want. We're downsizing the roster, you can go wherever you want. Right, so let's go back through the changes I'm making to make it clear. Proper divisions, which should make booking the show easier. Well, maybe not easier, but clearer. Giving proper time to matches, which should make it easier to book and more entertaining to watch. We're giving away rivalries on TV, making it more entertaining to watch. We're taking away rematches and recaps, which makes it easier to watch because it's not as frustrating. Also, we're downsizing the roster, which again makes it easier to book. Really all I've done is made it more entertaining to watch and easier to book, but that's all it needs, really. The only way that they can screw it up by doing what I've said, I think, is just not making it interesting with the storylines. Like, if they make shitty ass storylines, then it's not going to be interesting to watch. As long as that doesn't happen, Raw should be good. But that is how I'd book WWE Raw. Let me know in the comments section what you think Raw needs to be better. If you agree with everything I've said, if you've got other suggestions, all that sort of shit, leave it down in the comment section. Other than that though, like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, follow the Facebook, Twitter and Twitch, link those are in the description, and other than that, thanks for watching, goodbye and good night.